Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Friday, November 6th. But of course, all my readings are timeless because I dive into spiritual law as much as possible. But I will show you the mundane details when they come up as well. Okay, so settling into all the love, the forces of love in the universe, the divine wisdom of the universe, and 3 cards for today. Okay, so we have for our theme here, we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. And then we also have the 8 of Pentacles and the Strength reversed. So with the 6 of Pentacles reversed, there's some lack of reciprocity. There's some, well, the spiritual law around this card is that giving is receiving. With the 6 of Pentacles, there's no difference between giving and receiving. That when we give to others and they receive from us, that we also feel that divine wisdom of receiving and giving. It's all one. And you can even meditate on that, like receiving, giving, and just the power. Let the power of the words teach you about that spiritual law. So when it comes through reversed, it could mean that we're needing to know about that spiritual law, just simply to to understand that giving is receiving. And it could also have to do with just not feeling met. It can sometimes be about having debt that's not able to be paid back, or it can be in a type of relationship where it's very one-sided, where like your charity has been giving, your generosity, you've been giving, but now it doesn't feel like like that's good to do anymore for some reason or another. And this could be in a work relationship where either you're the manager, boss, employer, or you're the employee. It could be either. Because with the 8 of Pentacles, this is definitely, we're in that realm of our craft, our work, our daily, all the little details that we take care of every day, and how much power there is in that, and how we, love to serve. I mean, everyone has a real need to serve and give their love. But when it's not met, like if you're not being paid well enough, that just creates more debt in your life. When you're not feeling appreciated, then it saps your strength. To have real strength, which is what this Strength card is all about. You have to be aware of all the unconscious ways that you could have sabotaged yourself or not valued yourself. Now, and not valued your love, especially, and your service, and just not valued who you are on a deep level. That you deserve. If you're giving your best in your work, which is what the 8 of Pentacles is all about, if you're giving your best, but it's not being received as something that is worthy, then that's going to leave you in a place of, losing your power. But when you are, when you're received, like if these were all straight up, it would be a wonderful work experience where you're received and you're honored and you love what they have to give as well. And it can even be a group situation where there's a lot of giving and exchanging of very practical ways to grow the business. And then that creates more strength and you'll feel that power every day. But if you're in a situation where you feel disempowered, it has to be because there's something that's just not right about the job. Or it's not the right kind of job for you, because you have to do what you love. You have to love what you do. That's the only way for the real power to come through. That's the only way for you to be met from the universe. You know, like the universe that's inside of you. When you're in your strong place, coming from your inner being, then what happens is that it's a there's the reciprocity. There's the generosity and the reciprocity. And then these two cards go together so well, because the strength card is all about, receiving and generosity and giving from a very generous spirit in gentle, loving ways. So this card coming through reverse could be that for some of you, a work situation that you're in, or a relationship that you're in where you're giving every day, is not being met with the gentleness that you need and the love that you need. And you deserve. You darn well deserve it. But you may have to teach them what you deserve. And sometimes that means leaving. And other times it means having the courage, because this is a very courageous card, having the courage to speak up and say what's wrong for you. And it doesn't have to be that it's that other people agree with you, because it could just be for you, and that's more than enough. In fact, I mean, if you don't speak up for yourself, who will? You have to. We all have to speak up for ourselves when things aren't right. So the way to turn this right side up is to not be afraid of putting yourself out there, and to know that to honor your craft and to be able to grow, you do need to be coming from your inner being, not from an ego-based place. When the strength card is reversed, it can be, coming from pride, or coming from the need to stay in control or be in control, or it could just be coming from fear. And of course, nobody gets rid of their ego in this lifetime. That's not what it's about. It's about, growing through it and stepping, putting it aside and stepping into your power from your inner being. Because if we're creating just from our ego, it's too hard. It puts us in a place where we're struggling all the time. But when we're creating from our inner being, then things flow. Things flow in that dynamic. And notice we have 8 of Pentacles and the 8th card, the 8th gateway in the major arcana, which has to do with, power. This is all about power. Power in all the little details that you do every day of your life. And it should be coming from your inner being. And this card can be seen as like the gateway. I mean, look at the 8 here as well. So this, to me, the message here with these cards together, it has to do with empowering yourself enough to say what you need to say, so that you can be doing what you really want to do, and that you can be met. And if it's impossible to be, met in the work situation or the relationship that you're in, and you're trying and trying and trying, and it's just not happening, then you have to start, thinking of ways to make changes, to take care of yourself, so that life can be more gentle with you, and especially nurturing your gentle heart. And then that will create the true power. It's about letting your true power within come through in very gentle ways with yourself and with others, but then also, setting strong boundaries whenever you need to. So let's set these cards up here and use the Animal Spirit Oracle. And see what else. I think there's just a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now these go together. These all go together. Oh, and of course, I'm sorry if you guys don't know these cards. This deck here is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And I can't find the box. I have the box somewhere that goes to this deck, but it's they're big, oversized cards, a little challenging to shuffle. But it's the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. So with the cat spirit coming through, saying to claim your independence, it goes perfectly with these cards, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. It's the independent spirit that needs to come through for you to reclaim your power. And to be, again, back into that place where you're received, the giving and receiving is equal. That will help with your independence. So to let go of external validation, if that's the problem, if there is, I mean, this card did not come through reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles reversed has a lot to do with external validation. But just in case, because I'm not perfect, and when I, mix the cards up the way I do, that doesn't mean that, they're going to be perfect every time with the, whether they're upright or reversed. So if this was the Eight of Pentacles reversed, this would be about getting over that external validation that has you thinking, like, who do I need to be in order to have approval? And in a job situation, there can be your bosses or your employers or even your manager. Well, you can be in a situation where you've recreated your childhood dynamics and you're trying to work through it. Especially like a boss could be, or a manager could be a sibling. A supervisor could be like the same kind of relationship you had with one of your siblings in that rivalry. And your boss could be, like one of your parents. Or if you have two bosses, it could be like the good cop, bad cop kind of thing within your, your relationship with your parents as well. Like where one parent was very rewarding and the other one was maybe punishing, that type of thing. Or maybe you have been neglected. Maybe you didn't have the connection that you needed, that is, a real need for a little one growing up. Or with these cards, I would say, because this coming through reversed and this reversed, I would say it would be more in that dynamic of, it could be more about not being seen. Not being seen. Or not being heard. It could be the kids like me when I was growing up. It was like we were supposed to be seen and not heard. We were always supposed to be quiet. And half the time they didn't really even want to see us either. At least that's how it can be. It's like go out and play all day or whatever, that kind of thing. And then you can have the opposite where you have like the helicopter parent that is just on you too much. But I don't see that with these cards. I see that this is more about not being seen and heard and understood, which is a real need for a child. And because when you're not seen and heard and understood and loved just for who you are, what happens is that we distort that energy and then we try to get the love and attention or approval that we need from our work relationships or other relationships. Until you heal your childhood relationships, what happens is, or the childhood dynamics, what happens is that you attract relationships to help you become more aware. Whatever pain needs to come up. So it can be like the same pain in relationships that you had with your family. So to be able to work through that and understand it will bring in your independence. Yeah. And if any of you out there need help with that, I do personal process sessions to work with that, where it can or cannot, doesn't need to have anything to do with reading the cards unless you're interested in that. but it's all about healing the family dynamics. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I really think that this just really has to do with finding your power through feeling the pain of wherever you weren't met, and through that your independence will come through. But it is a process. It's a process. And it can be daily work. It can be moment-to-moment work. And then there are other times when it's just cleared out and you're fine. Something that used to take, 8 days to get through can take 8 hours. Or 8 hours turns into 8 minutes, Or it pops up and it's 8 seconds and you go, oh, yeah, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going here. Right? Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. You guys take good care, and I'll be back for Saturdays. Thank you.